Oven composition and manufacturing plays a big role in the performance of your oven. Hearth oven cookery is about cooking with heat. The oven is designed to retain heat and cook your product. Now, not all materials in ovens are manufactured the same way, and this is a strategic advantage into the performance and the longevity of the oven. For Marra Forni, our ovens are made with a brick. Why a brick? Well, the brick is a brick style material that can be cut and managed into the formulation of the brick oven. Our bricks are manufactured from a proprietary recipe from Mount Vesuvius ash. Why Mount Vesuvius ash? Well, being a volcano, volcanic ash withstands very high temperatures, so utilizing a product that can withstand high heat also can maintain heat, or the refractory principles. How high can that product withstand heat and to what temperature? Our brick product can maintain temperatures well up to over 2,000 degrees. Why is that significant? Because other manufacturers and other ovens are made with different composite materials, not necessarily brick, because of cost or weight. But what that does is it creates a product that has to have constant heat to it. Constant heat is going to require a lot of product, whether it is live solid fuels like wood or coal, or even gas, or even including electric, because of the amount that's needed to keep that oven hot. Marra Forni bricks are designed to withstand and maintain that temperature so that as you apply heat and fuel, they absorb the temperature and they withhold it into the brick. So overall, you can use less fuel sources into the product. We're using an oven to cook. Food needs a temperature and a time to cook. As you can establish a more solid temperature, you should establish a more even or a faster cook depending on the product, because it's about replication and consistency of the product. If we're using a product that is made out of concrete or some other sort of composite material, it doesn't withstand and hold the heat very evenly. Think about outside in the summer right now with concrete and the sunshine, right? If you're in bare feet, you're going to burn your feet. But the minute the sun goes behind the clouds or the fuel is cut off of that concrete, it immediately starts to cool down. So now your performance is greatly affected. When we start looking at the fuel sources, we have wood, we have coal, we have electric, and we also have gas. By adding gas now, we have to have some sort of gas delivery system or a burner. Many of the burners that you see out there are an atmospheric type burner that they're just mixing air and fuel and putting it into the chamber. Marra Forni has taken that to one step further in recognizing that the brick needs to get to temperature. We're using a forced air turbo burner, which is really putting in the air and the fuel and forcing it very rapidly into the chamber so that we can get the chamber up to temperature very quickly, because your product doesn't wait to be cooked, or it will wait and then your service times are going to be longer. Now there's drawbacks and there's advantages to both styles of system. With the forced air turbo burner, we're able to use less fuel because we're mixing it, enriching it, and putting it into the chamber, but it does come with a little bit more noise, okay? And much of that noise is going to be heard at your pre-service or not open hours where you don't have a lot of activity or other noise inside of the environment. But as the restaurant or facility starts to fill up with people, the ambient noise starts to rise and the oven noise really dissipates. The noise isn't something we're putting the focus on because it's about the performance of the product. And performance leads to consistency and quality. With the Marra product, once we set up the time and the temperature based on your formula or recipe or dough or product style, each and every product is set up to be cooked the same way. For Marra Forni is a handmade, hand-built, brick by brick construction. It does take a little bit longer to build it, but the performance and the rating and the durability and the amount of heat retaining inside the oven is much greater than something that is formed and built and made in a day. Many times people buy product on price, and the conversation is it because it's cheaper, or is it because it's of a lesser value? Cheaper is not necessarily better over the long run. So while the ovens may look very similar, we really need to look inside of the oven. What is the construction of the oven? Is it brick by brick? Is it composite? It's very difficult to understand some of that until you get into the performance.